Number 10 in our top is WVM, developed by Braindrop. The game is basically another visual novel, but because of the fresh design, the amazing renders, and the very hot chicks, it deserves a place in our top 10. The story looks familiar. After a rough start in your life, you eventually go to college. You're very good at basketball, so you can choose any college in the country. But you choose WVM, where they have the weakest basketball team. So you're trying to perform and turn the team around. With not a lot of competition, you'll be the star of the campus. How does that sound? There are a lot of hot girls around. So, are you ready for the adventure? Number 9. Dating My Daughter from Mr. Dots. For a dating simulator, it's still a very good game in terms of story, paths, and graphics. The story is a bit crazy for my taste, but you chose it, you got it. The game received some updates in the last year, which still keeps it in this top list. In a visual novel style, the story is focused on you, a divorced father who hasn't seen his stepdaughter in years. When she turns 18, she decides to contact you in order to meet and discuss. Can you guess what happens next? The game is still under development, and we're waiting for more updates, but I'd love to see more sex animations and more positions. Number 8. A Wife and a Mother. This game is a visual novel that's based on an amazing story, one that evolves based on your choices. The game was made by Lust and Passion. They really did put lust and passion in this game. The main character is a happily married, middle-aged woman, a really hot one, and the mother of a son and daughter. She's a high school teacher and a former college lecturer coming from a family of wealthy academics. Because of her husband's new job, she moved with her family to a new town by the sea. The teacher can give in to temptation if you make the right decisions, but she can also stay faithful. What would you choose? The last updates brought lots of new readers and sexual scenes. You have to check them out. If you haven't played the game yet, you have to do it now. The game is not very long, only 10 days of dialogue, but enough for you to do your job, if you know what I mean. Number 7. Harem Hotel. 8 hot women living in your hotel. What else could you wish for? Created by Runny, this game pushes the concept of visual novels to another level. There are a lot of hot chicks in this game, so get ready to get laid. The main action takes place in a hotel inherited from a relative. Because it's a life story game, you play as the main character. Your goal is to have sex with all the girls in the hotel and to build your career. You have to upgrade your hotel, meet new hot girls, and create a harem around you. The last update brought more than 700 unique events happening in time, lots of 3D renders, and nice sex animations. Which girl would you like to have sex with? Download the game for free and find out. In 6th place is City of Broken Dreamers, a visual novel game produced by Philly Games in which you play as a mercenary, a ghost. Wait, what? What kind of porn game is this? Oh yes, the main action happens in Los Angeles in the year 2042, in a city ruled by corporations where the richest get richer and the poorest poorer. In another part of the city, there's a girl that's about to become the center of a conflict that could tear the city apart. As you track her down, you'll have allies and enemies. So who will you trust? Who can you afford to? I'll let you play the game to find out. Number 5 in our top list is occupied by Treasure of Nadia. Created by NLT Media, which has more than 30 years of experience in the game industry, Treasure of Nadia is itself a treasure for porn games enthusiasts around the world. The game has 2 main goals: to fill the gap of the missing father who recently died, and to become a famous treasure hunter. More or less, a hidden purpose is to fuck all the hot babes around. What makes this game very interesting are the porn scenes, which are very high quality and have really nice sex animations. The game uses animated renders to illustrate the main scenes, which give you a closer experience of reality. A downside of the game is the point-and-click system that takes me back 30 years when the developer first started to code. However, the story and the sex scenes balance this flaw really well, putting this game at a well-deserved 5th place in our top list. We can call this game the king of porn cinematics. Number 4. Milfy City. Honestly, I'm a bit disappointed. Last year's #1, Milfy City, produced by ICSTOR, is still a piece of art, and I have to admit, it was one of my favorite games. But things moved pretty slow on the development side in the last year. The author promises a major release this year, with a lot of new additions, more animations, and realistic sex scenes, and also game quests. I know you can't wait to see them. If we ignore all the development issues, Milfy City is still a very good porn game. The story is about a student that finds himself at the school therapist's office after a humiliating moment with another teacher. While plotting his revenge, he seduces other characters at school and at home. Seduction, MILFs, mature hot chicks, and a lot of fantasies that you can play with. What do you want to do with all those hot MILFs? Which one do you like? #3, House Party. You wanted something more than visual novels. You asked, we answered. The first game in our top list that is not a visual novel. House Party is a game produced by EEK Games in 2016, but it's still under development. House Party is a 3D real-time porn game where your choices will shape the events and outcome to a multitude of possible endings. It's a choice-based game where every choice you make can lead to a different outcome. It's a first-player game with a first-player camera. This means you can move around, as in AAA games like GTA, having fun with as many girls as possible and trying to nail them. The graphics are not as good as in visual novels, but you'll play the game in real time. But the quality is more than decent. You'll have a lot of sex scenes, even a jacuzzi one, an amazing adventure, and some hot babes around to seduce and have sex with. The story? The game starts when you attend a party, and from there you start to build your own story based on your own choices. Although there are a few objectives to complete, you'll be still in control of your own choices. By the way, make sure you have a decent computer to play it on. #2, Summertime Saga. But Mike, it's a 2D game. What's so interesting about a 2D game that allows you to include it in this top list? Yes, it's a 2D game developed by Compass Productions. It has a fascinating story centered around a young man who is struck by the mysterious death of his father. Your main purpose is to find out what really happened to him. After a while, you'll realize that your father had a debt to a group of shady criminals. Summertime Saga is one of the most played games around here, despite the fact that it's a 2D game. The story is incredible, full of suspense, and the MILFs and hot girls are everywhere in that town. Being a dick. A visual novel with a different angle, an amazing story, and a lot of MILFs, and really hot characters that will give you an instant boner. The creator? A doctor, Dr. Pink Cake, ready to offer you the pinkest cake he ever produced. The story features a young man who moves away from his widowed father and his summer love to attend college, aka conflicts, alcohol, drugs, and sex. The graphics are fascinating, maybe one of the best visual novels around here. The animations are really well done. You have to see a tits job or a blow job to figure out how it feels. Are you ready to be a dick?
Around the